Hola, buenos días. Bienvenidos a la 71 edición del Festival de San Sebastián. Vamos a tomar un café Lavazza con el director de una de las películas que compiten en la sección Nuevos Directores de este año. Se trata de la película Achilles y su director es FARHAD DELARAM. ¿Qué tal? Buenos días.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. I'm very good. I'm happy that I'm here.
Quería preguntarle, para empezar, un poco sobre el origen del proyecto. Él llevaba un tiempo sin dirigir, es su primer largometraje, pero sí que había hecho cortometrajes, y quería saber un poco de dónde parte esta historia, que yo creo que tiene mucha vinculación. Es una película muy política y al mismo tiempo tengo la sensación de que es una película muy personal, y quería preguntarle un poco sobre de dónde nace esta historia.
Please tell us a little bit about the origins of this project. We think that this is your first feature film. You had already been doing certain short films. So please tell us, this political film, but which is also quite personal film, can you please speak about the origin of the project?
Yes, it's very personal film, and I wanted to have my first feature film to be personal because I wanted to start in feature film with my heart, and so the origin of screenplay comes from an incident that happened. I was working as a night shift in a hospital when I was a student 9 years ago, and there was a prisoner in the hospital that she came to my room, and she was hiding there, and the look of her eyes always stick with me. I didn't know if she was a political prisoner or what kind of prisoner, but that eyes always in 9 years was with me, so I wanted to do something with these eyes. And another thing that was very personal, in 2019 when I won Berlinale Bear for short films, I think 1 month after the ceremony, I quit filmmaking because I was thinking why I'm making art, why I'm making films, because it doesn't affect anything, in the society or people. So if I want to do this, passion just as a job, so I can go to other job. So I quit filmmaking, but some bloody demonstration started again in Iran. And I was witness a lot of mothers and fathers, they were losing their kids. And me as an artist, as a person who wants to be an artist, I just quit the filmmaking and I couldn't do anything. So then I started to write about those eyes. And a filmmaker who is desperate and thinks he can't do anything and he just sees darkness in the society. So, but I didn't have any hope to make the film. Then Achilles happened.
Hay una cosa muy bonita en la película que, a pesar de todo lo que él cuenta del origen del proyecto, ¿no? Y de este miedo a que el arte ya no tenga la capacidad de cambiar las cosas, es una película que, a pesar de la dureza de lo que explica, es muy luminosa también, ¿no? Entonces me gustaría saber un poco cómo trabajó en esta línea, ¿no? Porque es una película que evidentemente te está hablando de una situación muy complicada en el país, pero al mismo tiempo pone el foco en la humanidad, ¿no? De los personajes y de todas las personas con las que se cruzan en el camino, ¿no? Entonces, por un lado quería decirle que me parece muy bonito que, a pesar de ser una película que parte del dolor, es muy luminosa, ¿no? Y por otro lado, saber cómo trabajó en esta línea, ¿no? Para que la película tuviera esa humanidad a pesar del dolor, ¿no? y de lo trágico que explica, ¿no? En realidad.
There is something that I find really beautiful in your film, because you were speaking about that fear of yours, you know, thinking that maybe art is not able to change things at the end of the day. So something that she enjoys very much in your film is that even if you are speaking about a very hard and painful situation, at the same time, it is a very luminous film. There is light in your film. And it is true that you end up always showing the humanity in people that we have. So please tell us about your work. How have you approached that? Even if the subject is very painful and very sad, then do you agree that at the end of the day there is also a lot of light and humanity?
So I really hate to make film without any hope. So maybe in real life most of the times I'm hopeless, but if I could, you know, look at everything more deeply, so always you can find light. Like in the film, there is a scene that it's a dry lake, salt lake. There are some steps in the picture, and in these steps, you just see, you know, the trace of steps. You just see some water. So it's a sign of some hope. So I wanted to make a film that has this hope, and I wanted to show the real people of Iran. Because, you know, sometimes as an artist or filmmaker, so you just react to other films, other arts. So I'm watching a lot, as a cinephile, I'm watching a lot of Iranian films in last 15 years. We just see people of Iran that they just telling a lot of lies. They always fighting with each other, and at the end, the hopeless movies. So, but how about the real people? If we are hopeless, if we are these kind of people, what about these people that they are in the streets in all the cities? So, and even, you know, you can see the mother that she's searching for her son for now 24 years. And she just wants the dead body of her son, but she's not hopeless. And so in this film, in this road movie, I wanted to show this humanity, these people. Of course, like every nation, we have bad people, good people. We have darkness and we have some light. So I wanted to have this feeling. And as a first audience, I just wanted to have this, to see this light.
Otra cosa que es muy interesante de la película, él hablaba al principio de este componente autobiográfico de la película, ¿no? Del punto de partida, pero el hecho de que el protagonista sea un antiguo cineasta, ¿no? Que ha tenido que dejar que ha decidido dejar esa faceta de su vida para centrarse, para trabajar en el hospital y cambiar un poco de vida, el que este personaje tuviera estos intereses artísticos y que de alguna forma quisiera hacer una carrera en esa línea y la dejara aparcada, conecta mucho, ¿no? Con la terrible situación para los cineastas en Irán, ¿no? Entonces quería un poco preguntarle al respecto de esto, ¿no? De qué es hacer cine ahora como iraní, ¿no? Hacer cine ahora, y hasta qué punto siente que de alguna forma a través de este personaje está rindiendo un poco un homenaje a toda esta gente que no ha podido hacer cine como quiere, directamente no ha podido hacerlo o directamente está en prisión por querer contar la realidad a través de sus películas.
We were speaking about this autobiographic component in the film. We have this former filmmaker who ends up working in hospital. And I don't know, maybe I was thinking that somehow I think that maybe you are paying an homage to those people who maybe wanted to make films to express something, to denounce something, and who are not able, and who end up being in prison. Is there maybe something like that? Do you maybe want to pay an homage to those filmmakers in Iran who cannot express their thoughts freely?
Now they are in the jail?
Yes, today we think that there are many filmmakers.
Bueno, un poco saber si a través de la figura del protagonista, ¿no? Que un poco aparca sus sueños artísticos porque decide tomar un cambio de vida, el hecho de que el protagonista tenga este interés artístico que deja aparcado conecta un poco con todos estos cineastas que no han podido hacer, al final no han podido hacer las películas que han querido y que muchas veces han sido castigados, incluso están en prisión por hacer cine, ¿no?
The main character in the film, he wants to be a filmmaker. He wanted to be a filmmaker, but he decides to end up working in hospital and not to be a filmmaker. So maybe today we think that there are many filmmakers in Iran who cannot make their films, who cannot express themselves because of the censorship. So maybe somehow were you thinking of that situation, trying maybe to pay a tribute, an homage to those filmmakers who cannot express themselves freely in Iran?
Yes, but not. When I was writing, I was mostly thinking about those directors or artists that maybe none of us knows, but I know them. They are hopeless. They really care about their, people, their society, and they don't want to do art that's, with a lot of censorship and without any reality. So it's a big, hope, but I had hope that maybe 1-2 of them can watch the film and think and feels that they can do, like in the film, they have a third option, because most of the times these days we just have 2 options. Either we should leave the country and live somewhere else, maybe a good life, but without doing film. And another one is just sitting in the corner of our room and mute, no art, and doing something that maybe we don't like it. Yeah, I wanted to give this, hope to these filmmakers or artists. But another thing that was, I wanted to show artists should be more, courageous. Because I'm talking about filmmaking, many filmmakers, like in the film, they are, I think in last 10 years, they are 1-2 steps behind of the society, the real people, the workers in the, factories, or the teachers, these mourning mothers. And I think if they want to do the real art in our society, I'm not talking about other countries, they should look at these people more carefully and they should be more courageous.
Quería preguntarle también sobre cómo construyó ya desde el guión la relación entre estos dos personajes, ¿no? Entre el protagonista y el personaje femenino, porque yo creo que también se plantean muchas cuestiones relacionadas con, pues, el hecho de ser mujer en Irán, ¿no? Y me interesa mucho sobre todo cómo plantea este diálogo, esta conversación entre ellos, que a veces se formula a través del texto, a través del diálogo y a través de y en otras ocasiones a través de las observaciones que hace cada uno y de las cosas que no se dicen.
Please tell us a little bit about your approach when building the relationship between the 2 lead characters, between the main character and then this woman, this girl. I think that maybe you're also expressing and showing us what it means being a woman in Iran. So please tell us the relationship, how you build it, through the dialogues or through the remarks they make or through their silences.
I think all of these elements, I try to have all of these elements that you mentioned. But how I could do it, if you say I could do it in the film, so it was a very big challenge because, making relationship between man and woman, not just romantic relationship. With censorship, it's super difficult. Just imagine they can't touch each other. So it's very strange moments. And you just shoot a scene inside of the room with hijab. And so it was very big challenge but we had 2 months rehearsal with 2 main actors and actresses. And I just tried very hard to find the chemistry between these 2 persons. And the good thing was both of them, they had a really good character and they were open to each other. They started to talk about their life so they could find this, chemistry. But if I understood it correctly about the women in Iran, so actually when I was shooting with hijab, I shot the film 1 month before. I started shooting the film 1 month before Woman Life Freedom, and we were shooting simultaneously in Iran. So when I was shooting with hijab, so sometimes it's not realistic, I know that, but I didn't have any other choice. So if I want to talk about the film, so we have the main protagonist is a man, but I'm going to refer you to one scene in the film. So they are escaping from the hospital, and they're going down to the basement. Then there is a darkness, like here. So the man needs some light to go to this darkness. But the woman, directly, without any hesitation, she just entered to this darkness. And he just said, "Where are you going? It's a dark, it's a darkness." But she just come back and, show her hands, says, "Come to this darkness." And in the several scenes, several sequences, we just see same thing. She is walking, and he is following her. But the funny thing, I wrote it 3 years before Woman Life Freedom. But I could see if we want some changes, big changes in our society, I think women should go in front, and we should follow them.
So beautiful. Quería preguntarle también sobre la integración del paisaje a la historia, ¿no? Creo que hay como también una especie de acto de amor a los escenarios de la historia y a la manera en la que los personajes interactúan, ¿no? Con el paisaje, con los lugares, ¿no? Quería preguntarle un poco sobre esto porque creo que hay ideas de dirección muy bonitas planteadas desde esta conexión entre los personajes y ese lugar al que pertenecen, que rechazan por muchas razones, pero que al mismo tiempo es su lugar, ¿no? Es su lugar en el mundo.
Please tell us a little bit about the landscape, because I think that you are also showing us how those characters, they belong there, they love that landscape. There is that interaction, that connection between the characters and the environment, even if then they have problems in that place. But please tell us connection between the characters and the beauty of the landscapes and the settings you show.
So, actually the landscapes, the locations, when I was writing, I said I knew where I'm going to shoot exactly. And actually there was a producer in Germany. He read the script. He said, he wants to be a producer, but he will produce it in Germany and in Europe and with bigger budget. So I could earn something, but not now, not because now I made with my own budget. But I said, no, I want to shoot this film in those landscapes. And I wanted to, all these landscapes, it's part of their journey to show the inner side of these people. For example, they're going to the north of Iran, to the seaside, and the woman, well, like in the rest of film, she just enters to the water, and she just goes in to fight with the, waves, and then they're seeing another woman from 43 years ago, in the year that we have revolution, on the screen, on the projection. And actually that film is the first film that got censored in Iran because of the women and hijab. And she's fighting with the waves too. And in this part of film, the landscape shows them what's happening inside of them. But in the last parts of the film, we just go to the dry lake. And this dry lake, for me, so just imagine, this is the biggest salt lake in the world. And now it's 95% completely dry. So it's like, if you look at it from the top to the the map of Iran, it's like a wound. So this for me was the wound of landscape, and this is the wound that every people in Iran has. So all these landscapes was part of this journey to showing inner side of both characters.
Muchísimas gracias. Bueno, invitar a los espectadores que vean la película a Achilles, que es una película que está este año en la sección Nuevos Directores, y muchísimas gracias a su director. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.